Oh, okay, yeah.
That's wrong shirt. Call the meeting to order, do an invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to get together and try to take care of some business for the parish. Please guide our minds, help us to keep an open attitude and be willing to do what we all think is right for the parish. Dear Heavenly Father, be with each one of us as we travel back to our homes this evening. Please keep us safe. In your Son's name, amen.
Amen.
Follow me in the pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call for any additions or deletions to the agenda. Hearing none, any guest or public comments? Hearing none. Budget and finance items, road budget. Ms. Lilly, I know you ain't got much sleep, so the faster you go, the quicker you get home.
The quicker I get home. On your first sheet, you see the beginning fund balance projected for 2025 to be $12,395,645. Our expected 2025 revenues, $22,629,938, with our expenditures to be projected at $30,448,962, a net decrease in the fund balance of $7,819,023, projecting the fund balance at the end of 2025 to be $4,576,622. At the bottom of that, you see what we have to keep for our fourth month operating contingency reserves, which is $3,961,43. On your next page, like I said, I'll try to just kind of hit the highlights on that. Ad valorem tax, $5,430,770. That's coming straight from the tax assessor's office of what they're projecting. Sales tax, we're using the sales tax numbers, projected at $7,340,000. And then I think everything else kind of stays the same. On the miscellaneous revenue, I'm projecting $275,000. That is mainly going to be our insurance that we're still waiting on for the reimbursement on those vehicles that caught fire earlier in the summer. Still haven't gotten anything from them. Moving on to the federal grants, the $2 million is your EDA grant. On the state, Severance tax projected at 800,000. Parish PTF funds 400. The state grant 5,865,168. That includes your 1.6 and a portion of your 8 million. I did not put the whole 8 million that we were granted due to just the cash flow, and we have to upfront all that money up front, so waiting on reimbursements. Not sure how long that's going to take, so all we're doing is just a partial, and you'll see what those projects will be for. I'm not putting any transfers scheduled for 2025. That brings me to the 22,629,938. Does anybody have questions on the revenue portion? If not, we'll move to the expenditure on the salaries. Expected to be at the end of the year at 2,990,173. Proposing 3,096,731. This includes a proposed 2.5 COLA and the step increases for eligible employees. The overtime proposed at 180,000, as we discussed at the solid waste budget. We're implementing procedures not to go over the budgeted amount for next year unless there's an emergency. You do see at the end of this year, it's at 300,204. Got to take into account we had several storms that they had to work through this past summer. Social Security, retirement, all that's based on the salary on a percentage. The group insurance, you do see a reduction in that. I'm proposing 600,000 from where we are at the end of this year at 681. So there is a savings on that due to that self-insurance plan that we implemented. Going down to the contractor and labor, we have amended that throughout this year due to a lot with that severe storm, broken equipment, and we just had to outsource a lot of our projects this year. So you do see that at $1.8 million at the end of 2025. At the end of 2024. For 2025, all of those, the truck, tree removal, pug mill, with the exception of the spraying and drainage, it's budgeted at the same budget as the 2024. Dropping all that down, hopefully our equipment, everything is working out and we don't have to outsource stuff. The spraying, I did increase that to $487,560 due to us having a contract with the stipulation of having a CPI increases on that. Moving in to the fleet and lease expense, projected to be at $150,000. We'll have about 13 vehicles left on the lease program. We are asking to for y'all to approve 7 vehicles on the equipment and vehicle list. And based on that figure will continue to go down with us just trying to, and I'm sorry, it's 5 vehicles off the lease. But that will continue to be phased out. So we will, for 2026, we'll still see that number go down even further. There is an increase on the maintenance and property and equipment and the insurance casualty. I have budgeted $750,000 for the property of the maintenance of property and equipment. I'm hoping, less breakdowns of machines and that sort of thing, but I still budget $750,000. Insurance, fleet and workman's comp, budgeting $400,000 on that. It is an increase. I would have a proposal for y'all for the December meeting to see what our property and casualty insurance is going to be. But I do know that the current carrier that we had, MGAR, they sent me a notice of cancellation. They're kind of pulling out of this area. So the only person around this area that we're probably going to get a proposal is travelers insurance. Outside of that, our broker's telling me, they haven't had a lot of other companies that they can get a competitive bid. I should have that proposal hopefully first thing of next week, and I'm gonna be putting that on the agenda for the December. But I'll look into that and kind of give you heads up and let y'all look at that. But that's the reason why that's an increase on the line item for next year.
What's the name of the broker?
Risk Services of Louisiana. And like I said, they went out to market, should be getting a proposal on a travelers, but that's the only one they given me. And MGAR notified me of them pulling out of the area, so that was the only two companies that we were actually getting proposals from. Let's see. Outside of that, the small equipment purchases, you see at the end of 2024, $25,244. Line item adjustment will be made on that, but that was due to us upgrading the cameras at the road department. So I'm dropping that back down to $15,000 for next year. Does anybody have questions on the operational side of it before I moved into the capital outlay?
On the tree removal, can we add some more to that?
We did. We added 50,000 more. We went from 100,000 to 150.
Okay.
So, and like I said, my end result at 156. I mean, it's a projection. I'm hoping not to have to go over that again, but yeah, we did add it. That if you see, the original budget was 100 grand, then bumped it to 150.
Yes, I see. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions on?
The handicap driveways, is that the money that's allocated for all of us as a part of the amount of
Yes,
ones
ma'am.
that we get?
Yes, ma'am. And like I said, you see, no expense on that right now. I do have to make a journal entry and see, because what happens is that all the materials and stuff come out of the road and bridge material, and I have to go and see exactly how much money each of those counted for, and then reduce that line item and switch it to the handicap driveways. But I'll try to finish that for the financials for next week, and you'll have a better grasp on that.
Now that the handicap that includes the ramps as well, isn't it?
No, sir, the ramps come out of the general fund budget. This is just the driveways.
That based on all jurors?
Yes,
That's based on all jurors.
yes.
Right, two
Two per juror.
driveways per juror, and ramps, two ramps.
What if you didn't use one this year? What if you didn't use a driveway, having anything done to a driveway this year?
You don't take
You-
it to
you
the next
don't
year.
roll
Y'all's
it over.
policy has always been just
Oh,
two
man,
per
why?
year.
You can't carry it over,
Can
man.
you give it to somebody else?
Yeah, you can give it,
Yes.
to- y'all have routinely done it in the past.
Yeah, we've given some,
Right, yes, sir.
I used
but I don't recall doing one in a couple of years.
For one,
Mine ought to be stacked. Oh, Fred,
our ARPA money.
Can you expand on the driveway? What is that like? Do we?
Well, the person has to qualify, be below a certain income level, and if they have, the purpose of the program is if they are handicapped, if an ambulance has to get to their home, that's why we do offer that service.
So do we lay rock? Do we?
Yes, we'll lay rock
For the whole
typically.
driveway?
For the whole driveway, yeah. I mean, Woodley can expound on that a little bit better,
Mostly
but
all.
I don't think we do asphalt and we don't do concrete. It's pretty much
It's
just rock.
Rock.
All mix,
Right.
We have used all mixed with rock.
Yep.
because it's hard to roll a wheelchair in the rocks.
It depends on where the location is, really. I mean, it depends on where that is, but
And so we're still only allowed 2 and 2?
Unless y'all change that.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't use it, you shouldn't lose it.
Well,
Need yours, you can donate it to.
Yeah.
well, and Ernell, the reason we do that is for budgeting purposes. If
Yeah.
you didn't use one for 3 years,
Yeah.
it's kind of difficult for us to keep track of the fact that you didn't use one for 3 years, and you may have this much stacked up. And
Right.
since we're doing a year-to-year budget, we have to set the budget. It would be unmanageable for us to keep track of that. That's why y'all have always. I mean, this is the policy that y'all have put in place
Yeah.
long before me, but.
What's the income level?
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
It
Lily, she verifies
depends.
that.
I mean, I verify it, and we go based on what the state issues. I think one person, it's like 2,200 per month.
Yeah,
Like
they
they
have
can't
to
make before that.
And
but-
it's based on household as well. so,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. But what we get from them, it's their income proof, whether it's Social Security or retirement, they have to submit that for me to be able to verify it with the income limits guidelines that I have.
We might need to revisit that, because
Yeah,
I feel
that's
cheated. I feel like, if
But
I'm
you
not
haven't
using
used any,
mine.
you haven't used yours? Mr. John, you
Yes,
haven't
ma'am.
used yours?
I've used it, a couple of years ago, I think, on,
That- Mines get used up every year.
and you get money every year, don't you?
Huh?
And you get replaced money every year, don't you? Well, see, mine, I don't use mine, but I don't get in it, it's not
You don't
building
get to
up.
keep it.
It's not. I don't get to keep it.
You can donate it to somebody.
But you get it the
no,
next year.
Huh?
If you need some, it's
Yeah.
there the next year.
That's not what she's saying. She's saying that.
They
No,
don't
it's
carry
re-
over.
Well,
it's
you got
re-upped
two
every
Don't,
year.
don't accumulate.
Every year you got
You
two
get two.
driveways you can do.
Okay.
And you haven't done any?
Y'all to that. Okay.
Huh?
All right, I'm gonna hold y'all
Yeah,
to that.
every year you got two that you can do.
I thought you said you lose it. You don't
No,
use
no,
it.
No,
no,
you-
no.
if you
don't
have
lose
two
it.
right now, if you have two right now today, when December 31st rolls around, if you ain't used it, you lose it.
You lose
But
it.
you got two more next year.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You see?
Yeah.
You can't carry them over.
Okay. All right.
I can carry it for
Can I
you.
borrow one of yours?
You know.
Miss Trina is asking for donations to hers.
Shoot, mines go fast.
Yeah.
Really?
And actually, with all honesty, like, north end of the parish don't hardly use it, but
They
the south
don't.
end of the parish,
Yeah.
they go like hotcakes.
Hot cakes
They go like hotcakes.
and served. Mine's is gone, so
think I've
anybody wanna give up in it, just let me know.
I'm using ramps, but I haven't used it.
Is there any
Let me get,
information on how much we spend on that?
Yeah, we, Carrie tracks all that stuff for us now.
Yeah,
We can get that for you, but every ramp is different, every driveway is different,
Yeah.
and
I feel like if it's a minimal amount, which it sounds
Be
like,
honest with
maybe
you,
it
man.
should
I'm
be-
paying for one out of my ARPA
should be
money.
more than two.
The little money.
well, I can
got
tell you the
left.
average driveway would probably be what, $1,500 or something like
A
that. It's pretty.
driveway?
Driveways are inexpensive.
Yeah.
The ramps
Yeah.
The
are
ramps are about
$3,000.
3 to
Yeah.
Very
So what is it-
expensive.
What am I paying for right now?
I can't tell you off the top of my head, I have to get back with you. And I can tell you.
Okay.
Right now, the last time I looked, it was about 20 or 1,500, something like that.
For the Jones, the young man that's blind.
Right.
Okay, that's the one I'm paying out of my ARPA money.
You know, I wouldn't
Call you tomorrow and tell you exactly.
Okay, that's fine, I still have enough.
Oh, yeah, you got enough to do.
Yeah, I got enough. No, Mr. Jones, you can't have none of my ARPA money.
Well. Oh, we gonna do that way, huh? We going that way.
I'm the only one
okay.
still holding on. I got just a little left.
Oh, now we might work out a deal. now.
Oh, well, that's already, I already got it.
We really gotta get- okay.
Anybody have any other discussion before we move into the capital outlay?
No.
Moving into the capital outlay, you'll see the roads listed. If you turn to the other page, it would give you the details on each road. The ones highlighted in red are the roads that we are rolling forward from this year to next year. you'll see the total estimated cost of each. You see I-49 Industrial Park at 6.1 million, Wallace Lake Road at 850,000, Cook Creek Road 615,000, Bethlehem at 1 million.
Is that the road that the guest was talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, they should have been here tonight, but anyway.
First Street at 260, Brown Road 770, Metcalf at 1.6. At the bottom of that, you have the ones in black are the new additions. It's Marshall Road, both end of that road. You have the first one at 3,762,000, and then the other one 1,799,890, and then the design phase for Red Bluff at 125. Those we estimating to get the portion of that $8 million that we received from the HB2 in 2024. Now, we have not received a CEA on that yet. If you go and move up to the I-49, you can see that we're using the 2 million EDA fund for that, and 800,000 of that 1.6 that we received from the state, which we just got the CEA this year, but it's funds from 2023. And the other 800 that makes up the 1.6 is going to that Bethlehem Road. For the Marshall Road, like I said, we're using a portion of the 8 million. Same thing for the design for Red Bluff. Now, Marshall Road, we are using the PTF funds in addition to the portion of the 8 million that we'll be receiving. Like I said, we are not putting in this budget the whole 8 million just because of cash flow and trying to figure out how that's gonna work. Once we get rolling with this process and submit the paperwork to the state, and we can kind of see how that's gonna be done, we're gonna come back and amend the budget to finish out our grant of that $8 million. Now, these roads, the Marshall Road, Red Bluff, all that is coming from our original capital outlay roads that we provided to the state. Does anybody have questions on the roads or the funding on how the project was estimated?
Brown Road, is that,
I was about to ask the same question.
171, this, what,
That's in your area.
that's my area, that's my.
No, Brown Road on here is listed, that's in the Stonewall area.
Stonewall, yeah.
That's been on the books for, well, since
Yeah.
over 3 years, yeah.
Right, it could use a little expanding, but okay, it's not my road.
Do we get any money from the state for Marshall Road?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. It's
yes.
the challenge that we have is since we have to put up all the cash
Yeah.
before the state starts reimbursing us, we have to do that, and we're expecting a delay in getting the money back from them. I mean, the bureaucracy that exists is kind of difficult to navigate, but we can't cash flow all the roads we got. I mean, we have, just this last one, what, $39 million worth of roads this last year?
Why don't the state fix that road themselves?
I'm sorry, what?
Why don't the state fix that road themselves?
Which one?
That's a parish
The Parish
road.
Road?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I thought because it's bound there in Texas and Louisiana, I thought it was a state road.
It's not. You're thinking of 764? Yeah, 764 comes off of, or Marshall Road comes off of 764. That's where
Okay.
that splits.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But that one stayed tore up too, don't it?
I'm sorry?
The other one, that one stayed tore up as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It's a long road. I think it's,
yeah.
13, 15 miles. Yeah,
I'm
it's a
sorry?
long road.
Brown Road.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Have anybody gone to Neighborton
Is that right?
lately?
Missile.
Neighborton area?
Yeah,
Off of 84?
Base, turn left.
Neighborton.
No,
And
sir.
Man, you
No,
ought to go
sir.
by there, like like if you're going down toward the new truck relay, and go down, was it 522? Man, they have redone that road. I mean, it is immaculate. And I think, yeah, it is immaculate. And it seems like to me, they need to start taking care of more of their own roads. So, okay.
Well, I will tell you, you know, Mr. Raines and I went to the tax session yesterday in Baton Rouge, and we listened to the governor's proposal, and if that proposal goes through, and I intend to give a full report to the jury during the
Yeah,
end.
we're supposed to be looking good. We had I think me and Richard got a little heads up about it at the conference between the,
If half of what he's telling us is true, okay?
Yeah.
We stand to have a windfall in
Exactly.
severance tax revenues to go towards infrastructure.
exactly, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they kind of announced it to us at the Red
And,
Bull
and
conference.
also the sales tax structure, I was asked by another parish to look at that, and I'm gonna give you all a report, but just a little precursor. The sales tax, between what they're proposing, we stand to, statewide now, I'm not talking about just our parish, but between the gives and the takes, the gives are, the locals will be giving up their sales tax, taxability of prescription drugs, but they're gonna be absorbing probably 3 times more taxable items between digital services and other services, telecommunications, which have all been constitutionally off the, out of our ability to tax for 50 years. That's been in place for 50 years. So if that happens, the locals, all the locals, not just us, anybody who levies a sales tax will benefit from that considerably. About three times what we currently get on those services, so.
Good.
Any,
I got another question about the roads. I'm just thinking about the towns of Stonewall, Keach, Logansport, Mansfield. Do we have a set budget? Because they're gonna be coming in asking for roads and stuff, help to fix the roads. We don't have a certain budget to, like a cap, a certain number that we accommodate towns.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
all the
is-
towns have if they have they have the ability to levy their own tax for their roads. I mean, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of the time they come in here to ask us to help them out on the roads. But I was thinking, they gonna always come every year, every other year. Could we throw out a budget out there and just have a cap on it? If you use it, don't use it, it don't roll over.
You saying like put,
To help,
you saying like put 250,000 for
Yeah,
Logan
just-
Sports, Stonewall, man.
Right, just for all of
And
them.
once you get that, that's it?
That's
That's
it.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never, I mean, that's, yeah.
Mainly, we just,
it wouldn't it?
And
though?
with y'all's current policy, it's they pay for the materials, we do all the labor and everything, so.
Some of them can't pay for that.
Right, yes, ma'am.
So, my thing is, I'm all for infrastructure, I agree, but some of them can't afford that, and
Right.
what our president is proposing, I mean,
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Mr. Ross.
just,
What-
they, instead of coming
what-
one at a time, just have a set rate and hey, if it's affordable.
Well, I would say it'd probably be more affordable if the severance tax
Yeah,
issue
go
is
through.
addressed, then you can do something like that, because I promise you this, with a windfall like this, the hands are gonna be out asking the police jury to do an enormous amount of additional work
Yeah.
when it comes to that. But, and there's been discussions, even one of our legislator mentioned this to me yesterday, and he said, y'all gonna get this money, for severance tax, for water, for sewer, and I was like, well, we have no parish-wide sewer. We have no parish-wide sewer, but that may happen, but the comment was made also, the school board and the sheriff's offices all across the state, they're gonna probably be coming and asking for that, and I'm like, hang on a second.
Oh, no.
I can tell you right now, I can speak for
no.
my jury, they will fight that, because the severance tax is for infrastructure.
right, yeah.
Schools don't deal with infrastructure, sheriff's office don't deal with infrastructure. So I'm anticipating some sort of ask in that capacity as well, but I told our legislators, both of them, they were sitting there, we support this tax session based upon the numbers that are proposed. I know the jury would, but, you know, everything else, you know, we're the ones providing the roads, we're the ones helping, you know, provide all these services. Those tax revenues would probably, that needs to be discussion, you know, above my pay grade with those other agencies.
And that's what I was leading up to, because I know it's a good possibility we might get that service tax, and everybody gonna come out the woodwork.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, we
They
gotta
go right
go
back
say,
in
hey,
there.
$500,000 is it, so when the money hit, you know.
But the original legislation that was formed in the 80s was a severance tax for infrastructure dedicated to the police jury to deal with the infrastructures for which they are legally obligated to maintain. So, you know, they would have to change that in the law as well. I suspect that we'll probably get those asks, but I don't think the state's gonna change that. The rumor is they're only gonna take the cap off. The tax session is they're only removing the cap that we currently have, and the law says 20%. 20% of all the
When will we know
severance.
they made their minds up in Baton Rouge?
When will we know? They said it's a 3-week session, so, but it'll likely happen a lot quicker. The House will deal with it pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's when it gets to the Senate side, then you're gonna get the, and that's what our legislators told
Pushback
us.
fight.
So,
It was just a thought, just, I know they're gonna be coming if
It's a great
they know we got that money.
I think it's a great idea. It's gonna cut out a lot of argument here
Yeah,
and
right.
favoritism.
Exactly.
but I think that's a good idea for, you wanna make sure you got the revenue. Right now, we can't even fund all the projects we need to do.
Correct.
Right, I understand. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Hopefully we amend the budget if we do get it.
Right.
yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah,
any,
even if it's to the next year, we can
Right.
put it in there in February or March.
yeah, you can always come back and amend the budget, but just like they were saying, if you look at your ending projected fund balance and what we have to keep in reserves, I mean, it's a very tight spot right there for right now.
Okay.
Now, if that passes, hey, we will have to come back anyways to amend the budget to be able to account for that revenue coming in too.
Oh, that
So.
makes sense.
But I wouldn't anticipate any revenue coming in until 26.
Oh,
If
geez.
that passes, yeah, for severance.
okay.
Wow.
That's just my, listen, that's what I anticipate,
Well, they
Ms.
want
Trina.
our money.
I don't know for sure.
They want our money fast, but they give it back slow.
Oh, yeah.
That's
They
it.
slow walk it to you, that's right. And they make interest on it.
Yeah.
Top left corner.
And I just want to point out, Mr. Arnell, I think you were asking how that Marshall Road was going to be funded. On your sheet that has the columns, I put in there what the police jury will fund and then the contribution or grants on one column. And you can see Marshall Road, that's going to be with PTF funds and the state HB2 capital. Those figures right there are the 75% of that allocation, and then the police jury funding is our 25% match. That's what those figures represent.
Okay, all righty, thank you.
If y'all don't have any questions on the roads, we can move to the equipment and vehicles. For that, I have a replacement of 5 vehicles, 2 F-250s at $114,000, 2 F-150s, $96,000, 1 F-350 at $63,000, and then four 14-yard dump trucks at $798,960. Those are to replace the ones that were damaged and burned over the summer, plus some that need replaced. Then we have 2 6-yard pull trucks, $316,980. Total for vehicles is $1,388,940. The equipments, they're asking for 2 Kubota tractors and 2 cutters, $130,000 for the tractors, $100 for the cutters, and then we are asking for the 65 Motorola APX 6500 mobile units for $120,000. If y'all remember, this is one that y'all recently, at the committee meeting on Monday, there was a CEA to sign with the sheriff. This is the price tag on that CEA. This is to replace those radios for the road department.
Oh,
So that's what that is, and that is something that we are going to need to purchase because that frequency and all that not compatible and not working with what we currently have.
And just to give you a little more information, since I wasn't here Wednesday or Monday to address that issue, the 120,000 for the 65 radios is about a third the cost of what a normal radio would be. We're getting that discount because we're purchasing it through the sheriff's office, and these are radios that are not top of the line radios. The top of the line will cost you $5,000-$6,000 each. So that's why we're getting, these are about $1,700 to $1,800 each. Does not include installation. I've negotiated a deal with the sheriff to assist us in doing installation for us because their people are trained on putting this specific new bandwidth. It's band 700 band radios or something. The current equipment that we utilize with the radios that we have are the what are the repeaters they have on the towers. There's 2 of them. Those are no longer maintained. We don't own them. The sheriff's always maintained them and just allowed us to piggyback off of them. When they go down, we have no more radios. So this is why we need to upgrade this to this system. So
I have a question. You said
Yes, ma'am.
that to install them, the sheriff office is going to.
they'll be assisting us, yes.
Okay, so here's my question with that. When we're buying these 65 Motorola mobile units at this price, you know, you want to make sure that usually when you're with companies, you make sure they're bonded. So if something goes wrong with these units that they've installed, are we covered, or we just out of luck because we are? You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm thinking, what type of warranty will we lose if we don't get someone that's specialized in and bonded to do this type of work?
Well, from what I understand, the sheriff's office has been doing their own, so they don't have an outside person doing it for them. So I don't know how to answer that. I don't know if you have to have a special a bonded person.
I'm just trying to see what kind of warranty we would lose by us working on these, getting them installed. If something happens, as far as the cost to replace or repair is strictly on us because.
Well, that's what we currently do. We're burdened with the cost whenever for the current radios, right?
The radio, if there's already an existing radio in the vehicle, it takes about 5 minutes to change it out.
Okay.
But all you have to do to the antenna is unscrew the top part of the antenna and throw it away, and you put the new little short antenna in its place. The same coax will work.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty.
yeah, your
simple.
wiring's pretty much done.
It's all pretty well, new truck, you know, it just,
Okay.
you got more to do. but-
It's gonna be the mounting, it might be a smaller or bigger, just chain mounts on it or something.
Okay, I'm good with that. I was just like,
But I can ask the sheriff's
Electrician,
office that
electrician
specific
working
question,
on my
Miss
work.
Trina. I'll ask the sheriff's office
I
that
mean, that's
question.
fine.
See
That's,
if there's.
I, you know, I'm
Okay.
satisfied with what Mr. Baker is saying.
You
If
know,
it's
Okay.
Unscrew,
for
screw
buying a
in,
few
and you're
new
done.
trucks, so you have to pay for all of it there.
Right,
Okay.
What the sheriff's doing is programming, right? Getting it all programmed.
right. All that stuff will be programmed, and when
Okay.
it's time, we just
Okay,
bring it over
good.
there and install it. Right.
The F-250, that's gonna be a supervisor truck?
Yes, it's to replace Woodley's truck and I believe one of the permit officer's truck.
The 250s, he's saying.
Oh, the 250s?
Yeah, those are gonna be. Those are. I believe they're.
Fleet truck, crew trucks.
Oh, crew, okay.
Crew
okay.
trucks,
Okay.
yeah.
The 350, what that was?
That's replacing the John's truck.
Oh yeah,
that's a
John's.
mechanic.
We're replacing John's F-450 with a 350.
Mechanic truck.
Correct.
Is his truck already up to be traded in?
I'm pretty
We
sure
got it in
is.
2020.
Yeah,
So yes,
yeah.
it's coming up for at least,
I was not real happy about that, but I'm like, listen.
The only thing I can tell you is since you're not gonna go to a diesel, make sure those have, it's called a 7.4 liter gas.
She'll make
If
a
you
note,
want
put
it
that
to
in
be,
our specs.
if you want it to be able to pull
see.
anything,
Okay.
it's a 7.4-liter gasoline engine.
Yeah. not
And
the
everything
16.
I have read, it is a very good motor. It will surprise you on what it can actually move.
That would
Now-
probably be in for the 350s and the 250s,
The
wouldn't it?
350s,
Yeah.
they're
Right.
available in 350s or 250s. They are
Yeah.
not available in the 150.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Chevy, man.
But you need to make sure they come with that it's called a, they already got a name for it. Gorilla motor or something like
Nobody
that.
wanna talk to you.
It's a real good motor.
December.
All right, we'll make sure.
I made a note.
I believe all the ones we purchased after 67.
That's your problem. You gotta get the 7.4. It's a completely different designed motor. And it will work. Everybody that I have read says that the truck will surprise you that it's not a diesel.
So this is a 350 mechanic truck that never goes out.
Oh, no, he goes out. But it's replacing a 450, which I still don't understand that. I mean, he's got every tool on that truck that's known to man, so, including an arc welder and,
That's what I'm saying, he never
Where
goes
does
out.
it go? What is it?
Yeah, but the lease is up
Yeah.
next year, so
Oh, so we're going from leasing to purchasing.
yes.
correct.
Oh,
That's not.
okay.
I ain't seen any roads out there.
These are brand new.
10 years.
Oh, John should
Yes,
still be
ma'am.
driving that
Yes.
diesel truck he used
Oh,
to
yeah, we
have.
don't talk about that.
Brand new.
It was a good truck. He took good care of it.
He does.
One more question, the tractors. Now, is that a side cutter or a real cutter? Side cutter, okay.
Oh, who was?
That including the cage to protect the glass?
Yeah, we build our own cage,
Yeah.
We sure do a lot of
Wrong.
shade tree work.
$65,000 tractor.
How's that Kubota doing over that John Deere?
I ain't even do.
How does that Kubota does over that John Deere? Cause this is our first year using Kubota,
Right,
last
this
year.
is Last year we got, I mean,
About the same.
about the same. If you like John Deere, you'll say John Deere. If you like Kubota,
They both get the job done.
there you go.
Who's gonna take care of that cab tractor, blowing it out every day and?
We had the maintenance guy go out and blow them out every.
There we go again.
Every morning before they start cutting.
Got everything but the tree.
That's the light, like that, keep
Yeah.
it radiator green. And they're done now.
Gotcha. Lot of expense.
What do you mean by a 6-yard pull truck?
6-yard.
Crew truck.
That we pulled the track hose and
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanna make sure. You got a trailer hitch on the back of it.
Yeah, I seen one on the low bar the other day.
And they that expensive.
Might have been ours, huh?
What kind?
Chevrolet.
I just wanna make sure I heard you clear.
Hold up.
No, Robert just got you saying. Yeah, yeah.
That's what killing us.
But that's a pretty kind of older model too. What we got, yeah.
What, this pool
What are these
truck?
new ones? Chevys?
But see, the Chevys, man, you really don't have to do that much work on them. That's why it's so hard to find the parts, so.
God,
Any questions on the vehicles or equipment proposal?
no ma'am, I don't, no more.
Well, that's all I have.
Put a trailer hitch on the back.
Anybody have anything else for us?
When they pull the tractor.
No, I was just asking what was some of these different trucks. I was just asking, I didn't know.
I don't really wanna ask the main question, is actually Frederick, how many trucks do you actually have?
I have to get back with you on that.
That many?
One more question. This 14-yard dump truck, what are you looking for? International or Freightliner or?
We've got quotes from Kenworth, Freightliner,
Yeah.
You can't buy those on state contract?
Yeah, they coming out state.
Okay.
This year?
Yeah, a dump truck.
That's the truck they use to pull on the track.
Just remember the ones we done had problems with, the regening deal. Yeah, no,
Okay.
She said that.
Anybody have any other questions? If not, I take a motion to approve the road department's budget.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Ernell. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Ms. Trina. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please vote. Motion passes. When you want your next one? I'm sorry, I cannot be here next Tuesday.
Can we make it for next Thursday?
That suit me fine if everybody else will agree.
Okay.
Y'all good with next Thursday?
So far, I'm good with it.
yeah.
That's our last one.
Yes, this
Oh,
will
it
be
is?
the-
Yes.
Yes.
And then in December, we'll probably have to do
We'll
a,
have to do the advertisement and then propose the whole budget as a whole for the whole committee to decide, changes, all that good stuff, and then, and
And I'll be able to make it.
on Thursday. Well, Ms. Trina,
I just try to change that. Never mind.
yeah, but, yeah, that will be the last one for the general fund, and then, we'll get everything together and get with the advertisement to see when we can advertise that, and then bring it back to y'all for the full committee. And at that point, changes can be made to that depending on everybody's voting, or it can be amended, adopted as presented. But changes can be made at that point too. I mean, y'all can keep making changes. I think we got till January 15 or whatever to actually adopt it by law, so. But we do, for finance benefit, try to get it done by December so we can be ready to roll the first of the year and have numbers into the computer and everything, so.
yeah, and the holidays make it difficult for the finance department, because they have 3 payrolls at the end of December and short weeks for Christmas and everything.
Sounds like somebody has an issue. Anybody got anything else? Take a motion to adjourn? So moved. We're adjourned.
Thank y'all.